a wonderful book haul to show you all, and the prettiest stack, if I might add. So let's just get into this pretty cover we have up top. This is the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop by Takuya Asakura, and this is Barnes & Noble's $5 book with a purchase at their Barnes & Noble cafe. And I'm pretty sure you all know by now how much I genuinely enjoy Japanese writing and all of the literatures and fictions that they release, especially all the cats. Is there like a lore that has been unpacked on how much like Japanese authors write about cats? This is such a cute book cover, and I'm very excited to read it because it is about a bookshop owner and her cat who basically hold as a sanctuary for those burdened by regrets and past sorrows. So basically we get to hear about the lives of 4 visitors that come to her bookshop, and I think that is such a good and comfortable read. It is not a very long book at all, as you guys can see. And of course I have my matching ribbon as my bookmark, so I'm very excited for this one, and I can't wait to update a review on this. I did start probably like 7 to 10 pages in, not that much. Yeah, I have these 3 books that looked a little used, and that's because they are. This past weekend I went to a spring library book sale. They had these $2 paperback books and like $3 hardcover books at my local library, so I was so ecstatic to be able to go to that. I went in thinking there's some authors I wanted to find. If I found them, nice, and if I didn't, that is totally okay. But if I did find like classic literature, I will get it, and that will be my sign to read those books. Up top here we have Shirley Jackson's Come Along With Me, and I'm so excited to read Shirley Jackson because if you guys know Melissa, who is Beware of Pity on YouTube, she is like the definition of thought daughter, and her recs and her readings are amazing, and she's also one of my favorite like YouTubers of all time. So I know she read Shirley Jackson, and I know she enjoyed Shirley Jackson, so when I saw the author name I had to pick it up. But of course this one, Come Along With Me, is just a collection of like works Shirley Jackson did not finish. It's just short stories, so basically it's not a whole story in itself. So I'm totally fine with that. I'm so excited to get into this and start like the gothic literatures. 2 classics I have here is Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights and then Jane Austen's Emma. So obviously you guys know these are blown up in the classic literatures world, so I had to get into it, and I told myself that if I found them, obviously I would buy them, and I didn't want to buy these at Barnes & Noble, and I think they're better bought used. So I'm happy I found these, and I can't wait to get into these. I think the weather gives, it's spring right now, so the weather gives these authors, so these might be read soon. Quick book update. I have these 2 books here, Wings of Starlight and White Nights. I started but unfortunately could not finish. Wings of Starlight from Disney's Tinkerbell, the adaptation of first Princess Clarion, now Queen Clarion, obviously, and how she, you know, took the throne. I'm so sorry guys, I'm halfway through this, but I literally cannot finish it. Like genuinely, I don't know if it's because I'm not in the right like fairy headspace or what is it, but I cannot get through this book. I got this book last year for my birthday, and then I'm pretty sure you all have seen it probably 2 or 3 times in my vlogs, and I don't have many vlogs up. But unfortunately it still isn't finished, and I hope I can get back into it hopefully soon. I feel like this would be a very nice springtime book, but also a very good like fall book, but I do not DNF books, so eventually I would jump right back into this one. And then of course our classic Russian literature here, we have Fyodor's White Nights. I got this for Christmas, and I started it, I want to say February 2026, because I took it on a trip with me, and I haven't even reached the White Nights part yet. The first story here is A Nasty Business, and then there's another story, the Meek one, and then you get into White Nights. I haven't even reached White Nights yet, and I literally cannot finish this book. I'm still in A Nasty Business, and it is honestly not intriguing at all. It is very like just very, I don't know how to even explain it, but I cannot get into it. I have underlined some parts in this, or literally me saying like WTH. I cannot finish it. I hope to finish it soon, probably in the late winter. I will get into this again, obviously for the winter White Nights mood. But one book I did finish that y'all seen in my last vlog is probably my favorite book as of 2026. The Second Chance Convenience Store. I finally finished this book. I finished it early February. It was so good, guys. This one is a 5 out of 5 for me because I really love the concept of just like introducing multiple people visiting one place, like a convenience store or like a bookstore or like a cafe or something, and just kind of like reconnecting with your burdens and like just talking about your sorrows, and then meeting someone that just kind of gives you inspiration, because I feel like it is the most random people that give you inspiration and give you hope again. Like, it might be kind of crazy to say, but I'm really intrigued in that idea. The owner of the convenience store, Mrs. Yom, gave a homeless man that she found a chance to work and to rebuild himself up again, and eventually that man alone just helped other people that passed by. And I thought that was really inspirational, and like the stories of each person in this book was very touching to me. It is the Pisces in me, is what I might say. It is very much the empathetic person in me. So I really love this book, and I can't wait to continue like more books that may have a similar concept to these, because I know they get super released a lot. This is my current book update. You guys, I have 2 that I will be taking a pause from, and 1 I finished. So let's see what other books 2026 has in store for me. I'm very excited to start this book vlog. It is 12:37 right now, and I'm hoping to get at least 30 minutes of reading done before I go to work today. My concentration limit for a while has been 20 minutes, but I'm gonna push it to 30. I haven't read in a very long time, so we're gonna see how I get through today's reading session. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a really good one though. Let's read this book and we'll annotate as we go through. I have my matching bookmark here, and then my highlighter to highlight and annotate. I just finished the first chapter of this book and I literally almost cried. It was very touching, and I have some of my favorite annotations here. They get really resonated with me, that's why I almost cried. But I read about 42-ish pages. It took me about 40 minutes, I want to say, so I definitely read more than 30 minutes, which is really good in one sitting. But I'm really enjoying this book so far, and I can't wait to continue reading it and see how much more I will actually cry or get very emotional at. I just read about 30 pages in like 20 minutes, and I think I'm gonna call it a night now. But let's see my progress on this book. Fortunately, I'm not halfway there yet, but I think I get there very soon. I just finished the part where, or I'm in the area where Daisy and Elliot agreed to fake date, and they went through their terms and conditions, and of course they were like, it's more so Elliot oogling over Daisy, but I enjoy their chemistry by far, so I'm very excited to continue reading this. I'm at page 200 right now, which is basically halfway through the book, a little bit more than halfway, but I'm about to start reading Elliot and Daisy's first official date into the public. I can't believe I'm like going this fast and this far with this book. I started it Tuesday and it's Saturday, so I think I'm on a really good roll despite me having to work all the time. You've got to be kidding me. Literally my words. Why would her ex be there? Another X? I didn't even get to move on to the page. We have an ex-fiance here and an ex-husband here. Oh my god. Oh my Lanza. Page 209. Everyone, it has been a week since I started this book vlog slash kind of like tracking the reading I've been doing in a week, just because I really wanted to get out of a reading slump. And then I finally found like some books that I thought would get me out of that slump and keep my interest. And of course, it's none other than these two wonderful books here, the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop and the Daisy Chain Flower Shop. I would want to start by saying that I've honestly did a lot of reading in a span of a week. Like, I'm very pleasantly surprised. So as you guys can see here, maybe this is more accurate. I'm 3/4 through the Daisy Chain Flower Shop book, and just probably a 1/4 through I'm almost done with this romance book here, surprisingly. But it really kept my interest, and I think that's because I've been watching like The Perfect Crown and like my royal nemesis K-dramas, and everyone right now is raving about the off-campus Amazon Prime series. And honestly, I don't know anything about that show, but I mean, I am a sucker for like romance, so of course that the fake dating, it goes into the theme of this book. When I picked up this book, I could not stop reading it, so that's why I'm like 3/4 through it. But I had to stop and like calm it down because I've only read one chapter of this book so far, and I think I've only read one chapter because I got kind of like emotional over the first one. I thought it really hit. I mean, I don't mind it, but I don't think I wanted to be daughter like within this week, so that's why I had to like put it down for a little bit. But since I have some time today, I want to try to get into the second chapter of this book, but we'll see how far I go. But honestly, for this being like a 1-week check-in, just like a small book update, I truly think like I am in a good spot. Like with the romance, I can literally read like up to 40 minutes in one sitting. This does take me a little while just because I really like to take in all of the surrounding events and just basically different aspects to each person's kind of situation. And as the narrator's talking, it does take me a little while to get through a chapter, and plus they're a little bit longer, but still I genuinely am pretty happy. Hi everyone, welcome to the end of this book vlog. It's been a little over a month and we've made it so far. So obviously I have to end this vlog by giving you all a book review on these two amazing books. Literally been yapping the whole time about these two books. It has taken me basically a month to finish them, and I think that's really good. Pretty proud of my progress, if I might say. I do have my traveler's notebook here to kind of reference my thoughts and opinions, so I don't yap the whole time and just talk nonsense. I basically wrote down the length that I read each book, my likes, dislikes, you know, a little bit about the characters, some notes, and obviously my ratings. So let's just jump right into it. First, Takuya Asakura, the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop, 5 out of 5 book for me. These types of books, literally Korean literature, Japanese literature, they don't miss. Honestly, it's hard for me to give them such a low rating. I really enjoy the types of like the genres of these books. something about just like going back in time, kind of like confronting your sorrows, confronting like what is making you very like emotional, or just being a thought daughter in general. Something about those types of reads makes me satisfied, I would like to say. So I enjoy it. I like reading these types of books, and this one in particular, really, really good, especially given the season that we are in right now. Springish, now it's summer, but this one was super amazing. The thoughts I have for this one basically was that I still couldn't move on from chapter 1. So I told you guys that chapter 1 literally scarred me, and I still stand by that. Like, there were different visitors visiting the bookshop, but chapter 1, without saying too much, like having the daughter kind of just think back on her mom, really hit home. I enjoyed like reading about the different characters that came after, or the different visitors that came after chapter 1. Like, we have an older man, we have sisters. There was also kind of a plot twist-ish, not a really big one, but kind of like a oh my goodness like realization moment to one of the visitors. But basically this story does go full circle. So towards the end of the book, kind of realize that two main characters, we have the bookkeeper and then the cat, are existing because of one person, and that one person is important to literature in this book. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm trying to say it without spoiling anything. But it does come full circle is what I have to say. It does show various relationships, and it does show different forms of resentment or like love in a sense, or just like things like that. There's various words, but it's not coming to my mind. One thing about this book I also really like is it kind of just tells you about the power of reading in books and like imagination. It kind of stresses that, and I think it's important to have, especially in these days and times, just to remind you that books are a form of art. Then I wrote here, repetitive word choice for imagination and kind of foreshadowing. Literally, the art that will repeat one line, and that's how the steps to meeting the bookshop and who is in the bookshop. So like the girl with the pin dress and with the cat. Like you'll see those words like in every single chapter. The repetitive word choice I thought was very interesting. It definitely keeps the story flowing. All in all, this book, one of the best reads ever that has helped me get back into this reading binge. It's just so good. 5 out of 5. Of course, after I read chapter 1 of the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop, I was a little emo, so I had to be the Daisy Chain Flower Shop. I was very excited for this book release whenever Laurie Gilmore announced it on her social media. So I pre-ordered it, and it came, and then I let it marinate for literally 1 second, and then I hopped right into it. This book for me is a 4 out of 5. I love Laurie Gilmore. I think she's probably one of my favorite romance authors, and I know there's a lot out there, but she makes romance bearable. This book took me only 17 days to read, so way less than the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop, but it was kind of expected because it's romance. It's like I don't have to think too much of it. But this book, I love the characters. I literally love Elliot and Daisy together. They are so cute. I love how Elliot is as a man in this book. Like, he's not annoying, and he's just not overly fictionistly like manly. He's like good enough. He's good enough to be a yearner. He's a little bit of a nerd. He's good enough for Daisy, okay? And they're so cute together. Like, we have Daisy thinks she's cursed forever, but then we have Elliot is crushing on her. So he kind of guides her in a sense to find the better in her so-called curse. For both characters, they work past their flaws in the story, like individually, and they don't really put each other's flaws against each other. I appreciate that. Like, obviously their flaws come in the way of how they act towards each other, but it's not necessarily they're making it the whole plot to put their flaws and like just ruin everything. I hope that makes sense, y'all. I also loved how like in this book they mentioned Noah and Hazel a lot, and they mentioned Iris from the Strawberry Pancake. I love how it's fake dating. I love a good fake dating trope, and obviously a he fell first trope. I really like how the transition kind of goes. I think it's pretty medium paced, but then when you get towards the end, everything is pretty fast paced, and that's when all of the spicy starts to happen. And I'm like, okay, I understand like they had one spicy part. After that one spicy part, there was a pause for a bit, and then towards the end, it was like spice. And I'm like, Oh my goodness, that is way too much spice for my liking. But I'm pretty sure some of you guys won't mind it. I don't prefer spice, honestly, but it didn't completely ruin the book for me. All in all, this book is a 4 out of 5 for me. I literally giggled, kicked my feet, blushing like a little girl so much. And I needed that, honestly. It was a high rating for me, and I wasn't upset at the way the characters acted, and I wasn't upset with the outcome. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please look out for more content. Love!